Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Rick Baker. I'm in the Frisco, Texas office of Coldwell Banker. I shot one of these about 2 weeks ago, and people asked for a regular viewing of the statistics. This is just printed from the MLS today, Wednesday, the 17th of September. Blood in the streets. If you look at the top, this is again the North Texas MLS, all of Dallas, all of Fort Worth, and the surrounding cities. So it's the last 7 days. If you look at the bottom right of that, if you go to the bottom, there's coming soons, which are houses about to hit the MLS. You can't see them as a realtor, but we know they're coming. 284. If you look at the top, 3,419. Back on market are people that sold the house, signed a contract, not sold, but signed a contract. It came back generally because there was an inspection issue where the buyer wanted something that the seller thought was unreasonable, so they canceled the contract. In total, 4,315 houses in the last 7 days came onto the market. These are only single family homes, no condos, no townhomes. If you skip down to the middle, the red, it's closed 2,006 houses. So more than double what actually sold came onto the market. So the inventory went up. The really pitiful part is 250% of that, 5,338 houses were, the seller just gave up. They dropped their price. Then if you look at the bottom, expired, canceled, withdrawn, and hold. Those are four versions of the same thing. Someone signed a listing agreement, it was on the MLS for months and months. Seller cleaned up the home, did the landscaping, touched up the paint, all that other stuff, 1,819. So what that means to you is almost as many closed, about 90% of what closed. After months and months of on the market, the seller just admitted defeat and they gave up and they took it off the MLS. Expired means they signed a contract and the contract won its full term and they couldn't sell it. Canceled is where they didn't even want to wait that long and they just gave up. It's interesting that the cancels are far higher than expired. So the seller just knew there was strong market resistance. Withdrawn and hold, again, it's different versions of the same thing. On the MLS, seller gave up. Blood in the streets, September 2025. That's why I tell people, never sell your home. If it's good enough for you to live in, go to my website, neversellyourhome.com. Take some of that equity you have, go buy another home, and allow me to show you how to take that current home that you have and make it an investment property. I was an investor before I was a realtor. At my peak, I had 52 rentals at the same time. In regards to being a realtor, Google me. Again, it's Rick Baker with Coldwell Banker in Frisco, Texas. Last year, I was named top 4% in the world for Coldwell Banker. Coldwell Banker, to my knowledge, is the only real estate brokerage that won't work with a part-timer, and most realtors in America are part-timers. So if I was top 4% in the world at Coldwell Banker, all the other people that are at Coldwell Banker are full-time professional realtors, and I hit top 4%. I've been top 10% in the world for Coldwell Banker for almost 10 years. If you're tired of realtors telling you to sell your home so that they can collect a big commission check, why don't you follow this channel? And you can go to my YouTube as well. And you'll see refreshingly honest advice. I teach people how to grow wealth, and the way to grow wealth in America is to own real estate. Basic fact that's real hard to argue with is if it's good enough for your family to live in, it's good enough to rent out. Again, it's Rick Baker with Coldwell Banker, 972-836-8880. My main website is getarealrealtor.com. And if you're thinking of selling, give me a call. I'll talk you out of it. 972-836-8880. Look up my Google review. You'll see just case after case after case after case. Every year I talk millions of dollars of real estate into not selling and just keeping it as an investment property. Some people might call that ethical. Give me a call, 972-836-8880. Thanks for your time.